Ever get that feeling? Like you're searching for something online and bam, you find a website that's like reading your mind.
It's that feeling of how did they know? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not magic, it's Google. Or more specifically, something called the helpful content classifier.
Oh, I've heard of this. It's like this digital detective that Google's using.
Yeah, to judge if online content's actually helpful or just, more noise on the internet. And today, we're going deep on this one. By the end, you'll practically be whispering to Google, getting your content seen by everyone.
A Google Whisper. I like it.
So there's this new report out giving us a little peek behind the curtain of how this classifier works. Google's still playing their cards close to their chest, obviously.
Naturally.
But what they do tell us, well, let's just say it's pretty revealing.
The plot thickens. All right, so walk me through it. What does helpful even mean in Google's eyes?
Okay, so first off, it's got to be relevant. Like laser focus on answering the searcher's question directly. None of that beating around the bush stuff.
Makes sense. No one wants to dig for an answer.
Exactly. Then it has to be clear. Think like crystal clear instructions from your favorite barista. No jargony headaches allowed.
So we're talking plain language, easy to digest, even for us non-geniuses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And lastly, it needs to be thorough. Give the full picture. Don't make people jump through hoops to get the whole story.
Right, because who has time for that?
Exactly. And it's interesting. They're not just doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. There's a method to their helpfulness madness.
Oh, I'm all ears. What's the angle here?
Well, a happy Googler is someone who finds what they need, stays on their platform, and then comes back for more, right?
Right. It's all about keeping people engaged, clicking, and coming back for more. Google's no fool. They know user experience is key.
Exactly. Okay, but now the big question. How does Google actually judge your content? How does it separate the helpful from the, not so helpful? The report gave some interesting clues.
Hit me with your best shot. What kind of clues are we talking about?
Well, one big one is user engagement. Apparently, the classifier can tell if people are bouncing off your page quicker than a hot potato.
You mean like hitting that back button faster than you can say regret?
Yes. Or, on the flip side, if they're glued to the screen, devouring your every word. That tells Google something.
It's like Google's version of Big Brother, watching our every scroll and click.
Right. Creepy, but also kind of brilliant. But wait, there's more. They also mentioned natural language processing. Now that sounds seriously futuristic.
Okay, break it down for me. What is that in plain English?
So NLP basically lets Google teach computers how to understand language, like the way we do.
Oh, wow. So we're not just talking about keywords anymore. We're talking about actual meaning and intent.
Exactly. It's not just what words are on the page, but what those words are actually trying to say.
Mind-blowing. Google's basically playing linguist with our content.
Okay, but all this tech talk is great. But let's get real for a sec. What does this actually mean for someone listening to this right now?
Yeah, cut to the chase. How do we make this work for us?
The big takeaway here is keywords alone. So over. You got to think like your audience. Give them something genuinely useful.
It's not enough to just stuff your content with keywords and hope for the best. This classifier is the real deal. It can make or break your content's visibility in search results.
No kidding. So we've got user engagement, NLP, and probably a whole bunch of other top secret algorithms Google's keeping under wraps.
They're probably working on some next level AI stuff as we speak.
Probably. But the key takeaway here is clear, right? Google's on a mission to reward helpful content and understanding their secret weapon, this classifier.
It's like having the cheat codes to the Google game.
Exactly. So one final kind of mind-blowing question.
Yeah.
What if Google gets really good at this? Like scary good.
I mean, they're already pretty good. What are you thinking?
Could it change how we communicate? Not just online, but like in the real world too.
You know what? That's actually a really interesting question. If we start creating everything with helpfulness in mind, it could definitely have a ripple effect.
Right. Like imagine if presentations were as engaging as a well-optimized blog post.
Or if every conversation was as clear and to the point as a Google search result.
Okay, listeners, we're throwing down the gauntlet. Head over to our socials and let us know, how do you think this whole helpful content thing will change the way we talk to each other, both online and off? Because we got to say, this is just the tip of the iceberg.